Welcome to Drunk, A Song of Ice and Fire, Whatcha Thinkin About, Volume 1. I'm Chloe, your host. I'm so excited for this, you guys. It's a new series. It's something I kind of just wanted to do because I just like to sit around and bullshit with my friends. You know what I mean? I just like bullshitting with my friends. So kick back, pour a drink. Excited to be here with my friend Jackie today. Jackie, please say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jackie, better known as Tacky Jackie. I am a administrator for the Facebook group, A Song of Ice and Fire, Skagos HQ. Skagos because we are savages, but we welcome everybody. We are a strictly book group. Feel free to drop us a line in the group, and we have some great discussions. I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. And also we are joined by our other favorites, Kevin and Elena. Kevin and Elena, who are regulars here at Drunk ASOIAF. Please, hello, you two.
Hey, guys.
Hello, you two.
Obviously, we're both regulars here. I am the Bear Air on Twitter. Once again, that's the Bear Air. I'm also an admin on the Page of Many Faces. I am the Lion of Night. Be sure to hit us up. We'd love to hear from you.
I'm Kevin, and I have ASOIAF puns, and occasionally I make puns on there.
He makes puns all the time, but that's nothing new.
Perfect. So basically, you guys, like the usual Drunk ASOIAF drift, we're going to go around and chat about what we're drinking for a minute, because there isn't any fun unless you're getting that good old flea bottom trash juice in ya. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to go around and just chat about what's on our brains. I know we've got lots of Sons of the Dragon on the brain right now. That is huge on the brain. So, Jackie, what are you drinking tonight?
I am having a lovely cocktail of mango vodka with a pineapple tropical juice and a wine glass with a swirly straw.
I'd like to say that the straw is the best part of that. That was really good.
Absolutely,
I was really
right?
excited. I'm really excited about that. Elena, Kevin, what are you guys drinking tonight?
Got a tall boy.
And I have a Rheingeist Peach Dodo. It's a brewery in Cincinnati, Ohio. Very tasty. I highly recommend them. Just throwing that out there.
Sponsor us. Sponsor us. Please, someone. Rum with ginger ale, not just any ginger ale. It is the best ginger ale in the entire universe. Werner's, the only good ginger ale. So call out every other ginger ale. Fight me. All right. Who wants to chat? What do you got, Jackie? What have you been thinking about lately? What you thinking about? Oh, Jackie, I can't hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Sorry. I thought I hit that unmute button. Okay, so Sons of the Dragon is fresh on the brain right now, of course, because it's the newest material. I'm always thinking about crazy magical shit. Valyrian Steel, one of my favorite subjects. And the High Towers, there's some fishy stuff going on in the High Tower, always.
I have read through Sons of the Dragon once so far, and we just got all this stuff in there, some new High Towers. What you are thinking about with those guys? I know there's Patrice and Cerise, so what you got?
So Maegor married Cerise Hightower as his first wife when, so Visenya, I believe, wanted to betroth Maegor, who I think was already 13 years old at the time that his brother Anie's daughter had, or his brother Anie's had his daughter Raina. So to strengthen Maegor's claim, Visenya proposed that Maegor married the infant Raina. I don't know about, I'm not sure if I'm, you know, right on the age difference, but it was quite an age difference. So she wanted to use that to make Maegor Anie's heir as it is. He hadn't had a son yet, of course, and Maegor had no wife at the time. So she wanted to use that to solidify, to make sure that Maegor would be Anie's heir instead of any other future children that Anie's might have. Well, as we know, the Faith of the Seven was not big on the incest at the beginning of the conquest, you know, right after. I mean, they never even considered Aegon the Dragon's weddings or his marriages to his sisters to be valid at all, even though they did confirm him as king. They continued to, you know, call his marriages and children abominations. But after the conquest, when all is said and done, they, of course, they accepted the marriages because they couldn't do anything about it, but they wanted to make sure that it didn't happen in the future. So it was a problem for the faith that Visenya wanted to marry Maegor to baby Raina. So instead, the High Septon proposed his niece, Cerise Hightower, as a bride for Maegor. Well, she was also 10 years his senior at that time. And as we know, she did not ever give him children, and it turns into a Henry VIII situation where he wanted to have that male heir and decided to go on just a crazy marrying spree. Of course, it happened quite a bit differently than it did for Henry VIII because he just didn't bother divorcing any of the wives before he took the new ones. But after, like later on in the story, we have another Hightower. Well, there's a few more Hightowers in the series, in the story, but a little bit later, another one comes into play around Maegor's death. But I think I'd rather touch on that a bit later.
No, definitely. I there's so much, like, so the weirdest thing of Sons of the Dragon is because it is in another voice. So like, to me, something I was really kind of interested in was how Gildane had a very, very neutral, like gray view all of a sudden of like Maegor, for example, who we've been told was the fucking worst, dude. Like, he was literally a jerk. He was not a nice person. Like, Joffrey, like, yeah, he wasn't good. Like, Joffrey was him come again, like people said. Like, he wasn't good. And Gildane just gives this very gray, like, look into the life, which, I mean, that's what George writes best. Complex, gray, just nuanced, just like, you know, nothing's as it seems from the outside of the package. To kind of look at, I don't know, and like that, and like suddenly George gave us this new character of a priestess who was a you know, very shadowbindery, casting spells, doing stuff, making shadow babies, possibly resurrecting Maegor. Like, there were some interesting parallels that were just added that I think might be a pretty big nod here in A Song of Ice and Fire. We were talking, I was on last week, I was listening in on live chat to Maester Monthly when they did a live stream about Sons of the Dragon. It was affectionately dubbed Cernser the Dragon, so that was cute. But we were all talking, and I kind of started thinking, like, isn't it interesting that, like, Tyanna of the Tower was responsible for killing Maegor's children off?
I'm sorry, responsible for killing who?
Maegor's, like, kids. All the ones that died, that was because of Tyanna.
I'm not sure, actually. I'm really not. Okay, recall when Melisandre made the prediction that Joffrey, Balon, and Robb were going to die, right? When she used the leeches on Gendry. Okay. I'm not sure about you, but I have no doubt in my mind that she did not cause those deaths with her leeches in the fire or
No,
whatever thing
no.
she did. She saw those deaths, and she predicted them to manipulate Stannis. I believe that's what happened with Diana at the tower. I'm certainly open to the possibility that I'm wrong.
I don't know about that, only because, I mean, and we have to take it with a grain of salt, because especially when women, sorceress women in A Song of Ice and Fire are like, because especially in medieval work and in other feudal society work, like it's always, you know, like the witches were just like ladies that, like, you know, like they're always the condemned, they're always bad, whatever. I mean, so you don't know. I mean, you look at Shira Seastar and you look at her mother, and you look at like how obviously Sereni and Shira like were thought to be sorceresses that bathed in blood and all this.
Right, of course.
But there's a certain thing to be said of like Tiana of the Tower coming the day, like the 28th day before the trial there, and like all of a sudden they all were like wondering what's going to happen to Maegor. He hasn't come out of his room for 28 days, and she literally walks in, everyone gets sent away, and suddenly Maegor's alive.
Right, that was insane. There's no doubt in my mind that she does have magic.
Oh yeah, I think that she's a direct, like, just mirror look at Melisandre in the books. And I do apologize. I know Elena hasn't read Sons of the Dragon yet. I don't think Kevin's gotten to it yet, but they're suffering through this. We did get a question. Just to kind of sidetrack really quickly, and this is one I want to hear Kevin's answer to this for sure too, but I definitely want to hear everyone's answers. Why did Varys let Tyrion live while he was settling the defense of King's Landing? So like when Varys pulled his shit at the end of Dance with Dragons, and this is from Dop John on Twitter, why did Varys let Tyrion live? Why did Varys, you know, help him get out of there? Why do you think?
Are you asking me? Sorry.
Specify real quick for me. Was this at the Battle of Blackwater, or when he was escaping King's Landing after the trial?
Like post-trial, like why did Varys? Basically, I think what he's asking is why did Varys let Tyrion live when he was like, you know, like when he kills off Kevin, for example, like in Pycelle, like when that happens, like why didn't he kill off Tyrion? So what was his motive there?
I mean, at minimum, I think you could say that he just thought he'd be a good advisor for Dany, or maybe not Dany so much as you know, Griff and young Griff might be useful over there, better off than dead. I feel like the two. I mean, maybe also it's a bit of a well, I don't know. Varys would probably have survived the Battle of Blackwater either way, to be honest. They would have found a way out, but him winning it prevented Tyrion from having to do that yet.
So. I mean, like, so my opinion, I think especially with what I think John is asking, you know, like, why did Tyrion, like, when, you know, he's killing off, Varys is killing off, you know, everyone that could a peaceful rule under the Lannister regime. You know, so he's killing off Kevin, obviously, as we know, Pycelle. He's killing those people off, and I think he let Tyrion live because I think, here's a hot take. You guys ready for this? Everyone just brace yourself.
Right.
Varys knows Tyrion's kind of shitty, dude. Like, he's not, yeah, he's clever, but he's nothing special. He's shitty. He, like, is a shit. All of Dance with Dragons, Tyrion's a shit show. He's just like, I'm going to bang this hooker. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to make this maybe prince get really mad for no reason except because this is kind of fun. I'm going to be mean to this other dwarf girl. I mean, I think Varys knew, like, Tyrion doesn't have agency. He's not going to have agency in King's Landing. He's not going to mess with the plans. And, I mean, there's a theory that, like, Tyrek is possibly with Varys as a future Westerlands. I really truly think that Varys and Illyrio have been working on setting up the kingdoms so that young Griff, when he gets to Westeros, it's set up for him. So they need, in his head, Varys is like, oh, I'll save Tyrion's life. He's kind of a piece of shit, but I'll save him. And when to King's Landing, you know, when we get there with Aegon, we have someone for the West. we have a claim on the Westerlands. And I think they were really looking at Tyrion as that. But then Tyrion gets kidnapped by Jorah and mucks it all up like Tyrion does.
That's
Now,
actually.
Sorry to interrupt, but what do you guys think about Tyrek Lannister, who was, you know, he went missing during the bread riots when Marcella went off to Dorne. I know there's a lot of popular theories out there about Tyrek being the one that Varys and Illyrio are counting on to make a claim on the West on Aegon's behalf. Do you think that could interfere with that?
Well, and so I
do you
feel
buy
like
into that at
possibly. So there's two theories that I really like for Tyrek Lannister, and I want to say it was M Toodles on Reddit that did the one I really, really like, and that is that when Arya is blind in the House of Black and White, washing people's faces and shit before they die and get murdered with the fucking water, her hands over a guy that had curly, like, blonde hair and a handsome face. And, like, M Toodles on Reddit had said, what if that was Tyrek? And I don't remember the exact reasoning. I know I read it. I just don't remember because I'm drunk and it's been a while. So I would really recommend checking that out. The other one, obviously, is the Aegon one. So
yeah, I'm actually aware of both theories, but I don't think that Tyrek was that body in the Black House and White. I just don't. I think that he is being held somewhere.
I also
Personally,
think,
I could be
like,
wrong. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think it's also something that maybe we're going to find out.
What's that?
It might end up a plot thread that we just don't ever get resolution on, which that actually, I mean, unfortunately, that's just, and I know, Elena, I think you had some stuff about that too, but talk about it.
Unpopular opinion, Tyrek's dead. We're just never going to see him again. He's not going to have any bigger, grander purpose. He's dead. The small folk were like, screw all of you. We're going to kill as many of you as possible.
And that might be it too. I mean, I honestly can see that too. With George's gardening style writing, he does this crap. You know what I mean? Like, he'll like write this stuff and then he'll abandon the shit later. So, I mean, and that's not like shitting on George, honestly. Like, I get it. I'm not at all, like, I would never be upset about that. But kind of how it goes. So I get that. What another thing that brings up that I totally want to look at, we just got a tweet from Brendan B. Fish, the Brendan B. Fish, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa. The actual worst. Jeff.
Nobody likes you, Jeff. Go away.
Ouch. There's a lot of Jeff hate on this podcast.
That's how we roll. That's how me and Jeff became
friends. No, same. I love him very much. He's the worst. He's objectively the worst. But so big fans objectively of Brendan B. Fish on this podcast. No, he's great. I do love Brendan B. Fish. Great stuff. Check out, I mean, the ending of The Cautioner's Tale is going to be phenomenal. So make sure to check that out. He did send us in, he wanted to add his little bit. Anybody that was on Twitter this week, there was some discourse about Edric Storm and Gendry and the direction of the show versus the books. It was a very long 700 tweet thread. I'm going to recap it for you. I was right. No, it was just kind of a discussion we got into. And Jeff just threw in, he wanted to say that Varys might know where Edric Storm is. And this kind of goes along with it, that Varys is collecting heirs. He's collecting people to be able to just get him in place for Aegon. So Aegon, because Aegon's going to have a swift move into Westeros before Daenerys comes down with fire and blood on him. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a cakewalk. I mean, if you've read the TWOW sample chapters, spoiler alert, our podcast is all spoilers, is what it is. But spoiler alert, if you haven't, sucks. But in the TWOW sample chapters, I mean, they've already taken Storm's End. The company's already taken Storm's End. And we kind of see that in the show with Cersei's hiring the Golden Company right now, and Cersei's on the throne. And I think in the books, when we get matched up, Cersei ain't gonna be on the throne Bitch is gonna be Valentcard. She's gonna be choked out. She's dead. She gone. We're talking about Aegon on the throne right now. Like, that's what's actually happening. We got some black fire on that Iron Throne. It's canon. I think we can all admit that. We're all adults here. But so I don't know. That's just some musings. I could see Edric Storm being Varys into this play, but also Edric Storm has the better claim than Gendry. Like, no, who's gonna legitimize Gendry? That's, you know what, this is what I'm thinking about this week. Fuck what I was originally thinking. What you're thinking about right now is, who the fuck is gonna know Gendry's parent? Who knows Gendry's parentage? Tobo Mott and Ned Stark are the only two people that knew. And Ned's dead. No, we're never gonna see Tobo Mott again. I'm just gonna sit there.
It's never gonna happen. Just it.
Thank you.
I agree. There's no way Gendry is legitimized. Not a chance in hell.
Book-wise,
in the show,
it would be very, very Dragon Age
no.
Origins if he were.
Yeah.
Book-wise, he's never going to be at all. Like, that's just fucking fact at this point. However,
Absolutely.
the way they're rolling show-wise,
yeah, I mean, John.
He's gonna get. Yeah, he's gonna be a.
Like, the fact that they just skipped through and they were like, Gendry knows all about his dad all of a sudden, like, like what? What the? Okay, but and like that's fine, whatever. Like, because I get it's broad strokes, and Gendry was the easier character, which makes me assume. So other people are assuming that means Gendry will be the heir in the end to Stormlands. And this all sparked because someone mentioned that they would be interested to see if Sansa and Gendry got married, and I almost killed myself after they said that.
What?
I was
What fresh hell is this? No.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
Let me explain you a thing. Whoever it was.
With all, they're wrong.
Yeah.
They're wrong.
Whoever it was that was saying
Yeah,
that Gendry and Sansa need to be a thing. Let me explain you a thing. They have a fucking song written about them. A whole fucking song.
Oh no.
Written about how adorable they are and how cute they are. And you know what? I don't know who you are, but you're immediately an idiot. I don't even fucking care. You're a moron.
Elena, sit down. Okay. So if I can finish my sentence, if you're good now, are you good? Did you get it out of your system? Are you happy?
Maybe.
I have input when you're done saying what you need to say, Chloe. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jackie. Anyways, it was an alternate idea that they threw out in an essay where they discussed Gendry and Arya's relationship and where it was going to progress to. Now, here are my couple thoughts. Understand the idea of a possibility, and there's a couple hints in text of the idea. Like, I get the whole Baratheon and Stark line. Settle down, Elena. I see your face, and I need you just to sit there and breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Out through your mouth.
So they were just providing an alternate idea, and there is the line, like, from Jaime in the books, like, if she's a smart girl, Sansa Stark will go marry some blacksmith and whelp out a bunch of kids. The gods are good. Well, the gods aren't good, as we know, so it's not happening ever. But furthermore, it was in regards to Sansa's characterization, like, George isn't gonna put her characterization all down to her marrying for the Stormlands, in my opinion. He's made it pretty clear at this point, like, Sansa, she's not gonna marry someone of her own, like, volition unless she wants to, I feel like, when it becomes, like, something she has available to her, because she's going to have that agency. TWOW is going to all be about Sansa's agency. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to be about her agency. That's literally the uprising. Like, by the end of the Winds of Winter, Sansa Stark will be regaining agency and on her way home with the Knights of the Vale. I feel like that's something we can all admit. She's going to be politically astute. So if her plot boils down in the last book to her marrying some dude that knows how to blacksmith, that his dad banged out his mom and happened to be the king at one point, it's just, I'm sorry, but Sansa's not going to marry another Baratheon. She's not. I could see her being very Queen Elizabeth. I could see her being very, like, no marriage or marrying of her own will and volition. Or I could see Jansa being endgame for the idea of the pact, closing the pact. It would be a Stark and Targaryen. It would work. It would be to rebind the realm once everything's destroyed. And I get that, because I don't think Daenerys is going to, but anyways. But I just, like, there's so many other options for Sansa that make a lot more sense. And I feel like the Sansa Gendry crap is just off of, like, 2 lines. And the person also threw out, like, oh, it could cause tension for Arya and Sansa. And that's not something George is going to do either. He's not. And, like, this person isn't, like, a bad person. They're a great writer. They were just throwing out alternates, too. So don't go attacking them. I'm just saying it was an interesting conversation to get all the perspectives of. Especially when we know that Edric Storm is with Andrew Eastermont out east right now, and like biding their time. So that's like a hanging thread that is going to hopefully come back into play, unless George just threw it out. You know?
I gotta say, there's going to be many loose ends. There's going to be characters that we thought we would hear from. We've been theorizing for years, and we're never going to see anything from or about them again. There's no way to tie up every single loose thread. No way to, resolve every single cliffhanger. It's just not going to happen. And I mean, I'd be unsatisfied if it were. You know what I mean? Like I definitely don't see every single question that us obsessive fans have being answered by the end of the series, and I like it that way, honestly. I did have input on something else, but I've forgotten now because I started drinking.
Alcohol? Yeah, we do that here.
Before we started recording. So real quick, I have a question from my darling Kim Nadeau. Which character that has no business sitting on the throne would you like to see sitting on the throne? Hi, Kim.
Elena, Kevin, what do you guys got?
Personally, like complete endgame, I want no one on the throne. I don't want the whole 7 kingdoms being a thing. I want to go back to before Aegon the Conqueror and have everyone be their own separate kingdom.
Answer.
For German, we might as well.
Yeah. Again, the question was, what person who has no business being on the throne? So this is like a silly question.
No business being on the throne.
Yeah.
The dog. That runs the in Marigold.
Aww.
Yeah. The dog.
How about just like Game of Dogs? What if we had like Brian's dog from the Fingers, the hound, the old hound? What if we had him? Like, what if we just had dogs? What if we had like the Kennel Master's dogs from Winterfell? What if we just had Game of Dogs? Does anybody think about Game of Dogs?
I think it'd be a good day.
I just love dogs.
All right, Kevin.
Very, very nice.
Oh, Zombie Mountain.
Story.
That was easy for you to choose.
So, for me, which character that has no business sitting on the throne that I would like to see sitting on the throne? I'd have to say Davos. Sir Davos, the Onion Knight. I mean, he has no business because he has no claim unless he were to conquer in his own right, which he would never do. But I do believe that he would make a just and good ruler if he were to ever find himself in that completely impossible and unlikely situation.
And the cool thing about that is that, like, Davos is one of these people, like, he would never do that, and that's what makes it, like, he should. You know, exactly. Like, he deserves the throne more than Aegon Targaryen. 8th of his name deserves it. Like, in that moment, we were all Aegon. So what I'm saying is, we deserve someone like Davos who would never seek the throne, like kind of like Harry Potter finding the Philosopher's Stone in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never wanted it, but it appeared. Like, Davos would be good. I
have another one.
I'm gonna go ahead. Well, how about I give mine first? You selfish motherfucker.
Well, fine.
Damn.
Oh, wow. Silence. Jesus. No. I'm gonna say it's a 3-way tie between Lady Whiskers, Sir Pounce, and Boots. Suck it. All three of them at once in the Iron Throne. I want them. And Outlaw Beats, bitch. So.
I mean, wouldn't everybody
Beautiful.
be better off if Westeros were ruled by cats?
Yes! Cats and dogs. What I'm saying is we put Brian's dog, the sad old hound. We put the dogs from the kennels. We put the cats. We put Doge, the dog from... I mean, I don't see where this could go wrong because right now Cersei has been in charge. So, like, that's bad. Like, we should do them instead. They're better. They're... Right? Yeah?
Wait, who's better than what?
The cats and the dogs. I would rather them.
Than Cersei?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
I was
God.
confused there for a second, but yes.
Absolutely less of a shit show, for sure.
All right. I think I have another question here.
Mm-hmm.
From, let's see. Sorry. One moment, please.
Oh, you're fine.
Where'd it go?
Oh,
Okay,
well, I was
who
going
do
to
you
say,
guys
while you're...
hope to get?
Never mind.
Oh,
go ahead,
ahead.
hon.
Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, from Jesse Carson. Jesse Carson wants to know, who do you guys hope to get a point of view from in the prologue of Winds? What will Jon be experiencing exactly? And any prediction on Jaime's arc would be cool. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, the prologue for Winds is going to be in the point of view of, is it Prester Forley or Forley Prester? I can never remember the order of his name.
Prester Forley.
Prester
I want to
Forley,
say.
okay. Yes, I'm 100 and just 100 because anything more than that is silly. 100% convinced that the prologue for Winds is going to be in his perspective because he has been charged with escorting Edmure Tully and his wife Rosalind Frey to Casterly Rock for a comfortable imprisonment. I predict that they are going to be attacked. Their party towards Casterly Rock is going to be attacked by the Brotherhood Without Banners, possibly with the assistance of Brendan Tully.
Mother Merciless also.
The Blackfish. No, I don't know about her. Maybe. I mean, it's completely possible. But I definitely see, the Blackfish being in on that. But there's no doubt in my mind that Prester Forley Prester, whatever his name is going to be the point of view character, escorting them to Casterly Rock. They're going to be attacked by the Brotherhood and Edmure and is it Jane Westerling, and Rosalind Frey. They're with Jane Westerling as well. I believe that they are all going to be rescued by the Brotherhood, and hopefully they'll kill some Westermen as well.
Well, I love your optimism. I agree with some points.
Thank you.
There are some points I'd like to debate. I'm about to wreck your world, though. You want to hear some good shit?
Hell yeah.
Getting in real close for this, kids.
Let's get in.
Exactly. Everyone take a drink. This is important. This is my favorite theory I've ever read. I wish I knew who put it up. I can't remember. I feel like it's one of my friends, and I'm an idiot, and I can't remember. It's on Reddit. But what if prologue? Do you want to hear this? You guys good? You ready? I'm sorry. I'm the worst. Okay. What if the Winds of Winter prologue? Ilan Payne, Sir Ilan Payne, because Sir Ilan Payne is there. No, listen, he's there. He's there, though. Yes. He's there, and he can't talk. Yes. And the person always dies. Ilan Payne's not going to live forever.
Right.
He's going to get his. So how beautiful would it be, Ilan Payne, who cut the head off of Ned Stark with ice, in the middle of the craziness with the Brotherhood Without Banners getting killed. Mother Merciless at the front of the Brotherhood Without Banners. Get that one. Like, I'm just saying.
No.
Did,
I'm doing this. But what if Brienne does the killing with Oathbreaker?
Oh, shit! I just can't!
Wait, okay. So, y'all are trying to convince me right now that Ilyn Payne is going to be in the party escorting them to Castle Rock. Is that what you're saying? Okay, do we know that?
Yeah, he's in the party.
Did Jamie did send Ilyn Payne along with them?
Yeah.
And you guys think that Brienne is going to be with the Brotherhood when that happens?
Well, we're going to open on the prologue, and the last thing that we saw was what? We saw Jamie saying, or Brienne saying, "Come with me, Sir Jamie." So
Right.
She was on her way to take him to be tested. We know that the word that she yelled during her trial to get her and Pod down was sword. She chose to tell her, "We're going to go get Jamie for you." So they meet back up in the middle of when that party's crossing and all hell breaks loose. I mean, that could be a fucking killer. That's going to be, either way you spin this chapter, like no matter how you do it, oh, this book is going to be so good, you guys. Like someday, getting really, like right now talking about it, I'm just like, oh, this is really good. Yeah, this is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, those would all be fun twists, but I'll have to read before I'm convinced that that's how things will go down. I think that Brienne, when she linked up with Jamie, I think she's taking him back towards the cave where the Brotherhood is. I think that's going to be a whole separate issue. I don't think Brienne is going to be with the Brotherhood when they come across the party headed towards Casterly Rock. That's my own personal belief. I'm
and that's fine. Like,
proved wrong if that's the case.
Right, because like how, like, no, I could see Preston Forley doing, I could see him also, like, I'm not trying to debate, that's a great, that's actually one of the people on my list otherwise, but when I heard that theory, I was like, oh shit, because like how, that's so George to this book that has taken him ages, that people have given him so much bullshit over, that everyone, all of his diehard fans have sat around going, come on George, write the book faster, you know, like asshole nerds, like come on dude, like just leave him alone. Let him just have his turtle Morla and he can write at his pace. He's a good person. Good for you, George. You be happy, George R.R. Martin. That's what I want from you. Anyway, but the thing is, how badass would that be, that beginning? Just like picture it for a second. Like this book that has taken so long to write and we finally get it and we're all the biggest nerds. It's like when the last Harry Potter book came out. You know, you're at the store at the midnight release. You're in line. You're getting your book. You're like ready to get home and read it. You tear into it. The first chapter, you open the book. You smell it. Like a new Game of Thrones book. And you smell it. And then you like open it, you look at the table of contents, you're reading like the foreword, you're like, oh, this is so good, and you get to the prologue and it's like, it just says the executioner and you're like, oh, like jacking it everywhere, like you're just like, ah, and then you like read it and all of that goes down. What the fuck? And that's like the beginning of the Winds of Winter, and that's how you know, like, oh shit, the Winds of Winter just got real. Like I think that would be like, I'm just saying, like, emotionally, that's like, that's how you want to start a book.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Are you emotionally are you where I am emotionally right now with that plot? Because I feel like that's, Elena, Kevin, what do you think?
I'm good. No thoughts on that one.
Y'all into that? You guys are into that too?
Yeah.
I mean, I support it, obviously. I mean, I'm all about, like, let's have Brienne kill off Sir Ilyn Payne with the remnants of ice.
I, for one, think we
That's
should
cool.
go George R.R. Martin into finishing the book, though.
You are the worst kind of fan.
Right?
I hope that you don't have enough money to pre-order the Winds of Winter when it's announced. I hope that you are sitting there and you can't make ends meet.
No, you can't wish that on him. He still has to pay rent.
I hope that you have enough to pay rent and not buy the Winds of Winter, and you get shamed out of buying it, even though you can't pay rent if you buy it, and Elena won't let you. And I hope she doesn't even let you look at her book.
I'll find my own way to read it.
Sure you will.
Or, you know, I'll just wait for the show to adapt it.
Get out!
Okay, guys, I have a fun question from my girl KRT, Kristen Reed Trito, from she's one of the admins at the big group.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know her, but she is obsessed with Jamie and Brienne, of course. And
me about it, actually.
I don't know if you guys know this, but her and I and a bunch of other friends were in Baltimore for BaltiCon, Memorial Day weekend 2016. It was amazing. One of the best times of my life. Don't you give me the finger, bitch.
Fuck you.
So,
Fuck you.
Experience. Seriously, I developed lifelong friendships. Like, I wouldn't be doing this with you right now if it wasn't for BaltiCon. Okay, so KRT, BaltiCon. This girl is a legend, all right? I was so hungover for this book signing, and I had the con crud, and I went in there to get my book signed, and I'm like, "Hi, George, I like your book," right? She goes in there loaded, okay? Loaded with her question. And she said, "Are we ever going to find out how Brienne is descended from Sir Duncan the Tall?" And he said, "Yes, it will be revealed in time." Okay, so obviously we all knew that ahead of time.
That's her.
Like,
yeah,
that's
it
had never been.
She's
confirmed.
the one that confirmed that.
That's huge deal. She's a sorry, Kristen. The clickbait. Oh my God, our clickbait queen KRT would like to know when we think that Jamie and Brienne will get it on.
Oh, let me have this real quick. I'm ready for this.
Please.
This is something I've been training for. Now,
yeah,
girl, I hope when you hear this, you know I'm talking straight to you. I actually just followed her on Twitter. I didn't know her, and now I realize it's her, and now we're buddies. So this is good. Now I'm gonna bring her some knowledge from another fandom that's pretty dead. The Sansan fandom. All of us send our regards, is what I'm trying to say. So KRT, baby girl, let me just tell you, yeah, your ship's beautiful, and man, I would love them to fuck. Like, I would love Jamie to slide his golden fist right up her cooch, okay? Like, let's just, I want to get that out of the way. Yes, I want this too. This, like, you know, like, if you want her, go get her. So he did. Like, what the fuck? Of course I want this fairy tale romance, but KRT, sweetheart, you know it's going to end with them in each other's arms. One of them dying, okay? Like, you know they're not going to fuck. It's going to be some sad bullshit. It's going to be like the worst, like Sir Jamie, like Brienne dying in his arms or whatever. It's going to be Brienne dying in his arms, because why would I have anything nice in my life? You know what I mean? Like, they already got rid of Sansan and every other medium. So, I mean, the next best ship can't even care. What I'm saying is it's not going to happen. They're not going to fuck. He's not going to golden fist her. It's over. It's going to be done. And it's going to be real sad. And you're going to cry a lot. A lot. That's all. I'm good.
No.
Yep.
They're going to make sweet love. They are going to make sweet love. Just one time before.
No.
I mean, because I mean, we all know that Jamie is going to choke the life out of Cersei with his golden hands. But just please, to the seven above and the old gods and the new and the fucking goat of Cohort, I don't care. Please let them make sweet love before Jamie dies. Just please.
Kevin, Elena, y'all got anything on this? Because
Kevin, do you have anything?
Does the goat of cohort, is it like, can you milk it? And then, like, how is goat of cohort? decent.
So that was a no. Kevin does not have anything on this.
I make eggs with it.
Okay. Personally, I'm a huge freaking Jamie and Brienne shipper. They are adorable. They need to have like adorable golden-haired children that are all giants and like with green eyes, and they'd be adorable, and I'd love them for forever. But no, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna be dead. They're gonna die, and I'm gonna be really upset about this. And I'm probably gonna have to drink like 3 bottles of wine just to get through that part. But none of them's living. There will be no happy endgame. They may nope, they won't even have sex. Like it'll get to the point where they're like, okay, finally, we'll be able to express our love, and then they both die. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that was thank you. I'm glad that I'm not the only person that's a realist here.
So
I'm just
basically,
saying.
you guys are trying to kill my hopes and dreams. Okay, whatever. I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
Kristen. They're trying to kill our hopes and dreams.
Look, I'm sorry to even have to say that. It's not my fault. It's just the way it's written. If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. Thing to go a little meta on ya, like it's not about them. And I don't mean that like in a mean way, like it's not about you guys, but it isn't. It's about the children. The story is about Sansa and Bran and Arya and Jon and Dany and how they're going to shape the future and like all these main characters of the kids. It's about them coming into their own and their ascension into their own agency and into suspending the sins of their fathers, which was a huge theme in season 7 of the show adaptation this season. And it's actually a really great theme. Like that is a huge theme for A Song of Ice and Fire, the sins of their fathers. Dany is always asking Barristan, like, what was my dad like? Like, why did they call him crazy? Was he really crazy? And she's trying to figure out what he did so she isn't like that. And, you have Asha attempting to rule and going against what Balin had. Like, Balin wanted her to rule, but she doesn't want to be the ruler he was. I mean, even with these smaller houses of the great houses, you see it. To see, like, going against the sins of the father. And interesting when it comes into conflict with the heart, such as, like, when Tyrion deals with it. The sins of the father. Like, that's a very different way of dealing with it than what we see in our inherently good main characters,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I want to get back to something about Sons of the Dragon, if you guys are up to that. A couple things. We were talking earlier, I'm sorry, I know I'm like seriously backtracking. We touched on Tyanna of the Tower telling Maegor that she had his children poisoned in utero, basically, right? Okay, so
I mean, she was like found out via like trialed at the end, like, right? Like, am I making that up? Like, they literally like found out she was doing that.
She confessed it under torture, I believe, or I don't know if she said it out of spite or out of torture.
Especially after she was known to take people into chambers and torture. Like, who was it that died after? What's his name? The prince. The prince. What? You know who I'm talking about? What's his name? Eris something. ERS. YS. ERYS. Something ERYS. That's a good solid guess. Viserys. It was Prince Viserys.
Yes, Prince Viserys, yes.
After days of questioning and torture, he died. Tyanna. I mean, like, good for you also. Fuck Targaryens.
Okay.
Me with my necklace. Fuck Targaryens. Just.
We had touched on the fact that she confessed to having his sons or his children poisoned in utero. And I mentioned the idea of Melisandre predicting death with things that she had already seen in the flames. Now, we've drawn a lot of comparisons between Tyanna of the Tower and Melisandre. And what my... Okay, well, I'd like to start by saying that I do believe that Visenya used some sort of sorcery to conceive Maegor. I believe that that had a profound influence on his temperament in life and his inability to produce a live child. Now, Tyanna confessed to poisoning his children in utero, but what if she did not poison his children in utero? What if she foresaw that those children would be born the way that they were and used that information to hurt him in a similar vein as Melisandre used to predict the deaths of the other kings to Stannis? That was what I wanted to touch on that, but I wanted to lead into something else that I forgot about while I was talking about that.
I had one more thing with those parallels, by the way. Just wanted to add real quickly. LML, Lucifer means Lightbringer. If you know him, he has some really great work. But in the big chat during the Maester Monthly podcast, another thing that was brought up, how Tyanna died. Do you remember how she died?
It was under, what did he do to her?
He cut her heart out. Maegor cut her heart out.
Oh, that's sick. Can we just take a second?
That's sick, but let's think about it.
Maegor was.
That's a direct Nissa parallel. Yes, thank you. I'll go. No, dude, I said that too. Like, when he said that, I had been thinking it and I was waiting, and he's in the live chat, and LML was just like, Nissa though? And I'm like, because, like, she kills king's children. She literally, like, resurrects a king.
Yes.
There's
LML, we were just talking about Sons of the Dragon the other day, and you did not bring this up to me. But that segues me into the Valyrian Steel conversation that we were having about Sons of the Dragon. So there was a little tidbit in there when Aegon the Dragon, the Conqueror, passes away, and his funeral pyre is lit by Vhagar, by Visenya, right? Mm-hmm. And on his pyre, he is holding black fire. And we get that quote. I'm not sure if I'm quoting this directly, but when Aenys pulled Blackfire out of the ashes afterwards, out of his father's freaking funeral pyre, the blade was undamaged, except that it had become a little bit darker, because no common flame can damage Valyrian steel. Now, of course, Aziz from History of Westeros has been mentioning that Vhagar lit the pyre, but it was the common flame from the wood that is what touched Blackfire, and why that was considered common flame as opposed to the direct dragon flame. But I don't know, I just still have questions about that, and I'd definitely like to talk a little bit about Valyrian Steel at some point if you guys are up to it.
No, yeah. Something I've been thinking about with regards to Valyrian Steel lately, not to like completely just like off track everything you just said, but it is about Valyrian Steel, so I feel like I'm doing okay.
Yes.
I did a mega post a bit ago with every single mention of Valyrian Steel and black substance and like black building a while ago on my Tumblr, and that was really cool because it really opened your eyes to go, oh, these places have weird black oily substances. How crazy is that? Like we kind of feel is obviously dead end. If you watch a show, it's hard because you have to separate, show from book, since obviously different canons. One is fake, one isn't. And so it's hard to watch that and still think about it. But Skagos is noted to have a very large supply of dragonglass daggers.
Oh, you mean my home, Skagos?
Your home, Skagos. So
unicorns roam?
So here's the deal is, I don't think that Davos is going to come back with Rickon because, sorry. But I do think he's going to come back with hopefully a metric fuck ton of dragonglass, which is going to suck for the Starks, but be good for them also. So it's kind of like, it sucks because Rickon's probably going to die or be dead. By the time Davos gets there, he'll have been dead or some shit. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, but Davos is going to leave with no Rickon and dragonglass. That's my prediction there.
Okay, so, well, I'm a firm believer in the fact that Rickon's story is a shaggy dog story. I'm sure most of us are familiar with the term. It's just basically a long-winded narrative that ends in nothing. So I don't believe that Rickon is going to survive or make much of a difference in the story overall. I'd love to see Davos come back with a shit ton of dragon glass. That'd be fantastic. If you brought a unicorn with him too, I would not be mad.
What if Shaggy Dog came back with him?
That'd be lovely, but honestly, I'm of the belief that none of the direwolves are gonna survive.
Yeah, they're all gonna die. Trust me, next season, Ghost is gonna die so terribly. Everyone's gonna be like, I missed Ghost, and then he's gonna come on screen. Yeah. He's gonna die. He's gonna die, you guys. Ghost is gonna die, and it's gonna be really traumatic for everyone involved. Like everyone, I'm literally gonna watch it and just be like, I hate this show so much.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the Valyrian steel that I want to talk about. What were you talking about with the heart thing? With who ripped out whose heart? Tyanna of the Tower. Maegor took out
Tyanna, Nissa, right? Maegor.
Okay. So I'm going to give a couple shout-outs here to Kyle Hassett and my buddy Mungu. We are constantly geeking out over Valyrian steel. And we all believe that the story of Nissa was sort of a recipe that turned into a legend of the original forging of Valyrian steel. Obviously, there's human sacrifice involved. I'm pretty well convinced that there's dragon flame involved. I'm not sure of the quote, but I know that Valyrian steel was forged in dragon flame and set with spells. And the Cohoric are the only ones that know the spells to reforge Valyrian steel, but they cannot make it anew. Now, okay, I wanted to segue that into, sorry, I just wanted to give Kyle and Mungo shout outs. Okay, so.
You're good.
KRT, Kristen, has another question for us. Where is Blackfire the sword? Is it with the Golden Company, and will Aegon carry it?
Oh, Kevin, what do you think?
Kevin just ran to the bathroom.
Oh no, this is like a Kevin question.
Oh, is it? Well, we can.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
No. I mean, what do you think? What do you guys think? I mean, I just figured this is a Kevin question. You know what I mean? Like Kevin's so good. He's like the boy, obviously, of the group. Like he does all like the legwork when it comes to war stuff and all that, or like pissing me off.
He's back.
Kevin, we had a question from the Song of Ice and Fire Facebook, and that is Kristen, right? Where is Blackfire the sword? Is it with the Golden Company, and will Aegon carry it?
I expect we would have gotten more hints towards it being missing if he doesn't have it.
Oh, Kevin, there are hints.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm rusty.
I need to reread real soon. It's getting bad. It's been like 2 months.
Sorry.
It's been like 2 years.
Do you guys remember when Tyrion was with Illyrio and Illyrio sent a special gift to Aegon? Aegon, whatever. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you subscribe to Brendan B. Fish's theory that Aegon is not only a Blackfire but also a Bright Flame.
Yes.
Yeah, I subscribe to that pretty hard. I do think that Blackfire is in the possession of, was in the possession of Illyrio and is now in the possession of Aegon. I do believe he is going to wield it. Falsely, of course, because he's obviously Aegon, which was KRT's other question. She wants to know if we think Aegon is really Aegon, and no, obviously not.
He's definitely Blackfire of some sort. There's no way he's not. That's literally, I mean, and I'm sorry, the biggest passage for me, like there are certain passages that it's just like George, I see you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, okay. Like, and one of those passages for me is when Illyrio's talking to Tyrion about Aegon. like I said earlier, this is just like I take as canon at this point because it's just like it is what it is. Like he's literally, this is what the narrative has set us up for. But Illyrio is talking to Tyrion, and Tyrion is describing his rings, and his rings are going from different types of gems, but they're all black and green gems. Like emerald to jet jade to like this back and forth, and he's like the light plays on his rings, but it's all black and green. You know, the dance, like that's literally, it's the biggest George symbolism I've ever read. In fact, like I know I was just talking about it on Twitter. I'll find the actual quote. So good though. Like it's just like, it's like the most subtle George shadowing of like what's to come, and it's the only way to fulfill it. And like that's the thing is, Aegon being a Blackfire is so important because like George has set it up so much. And like at the same time, like all these plots hinge on this. There are all these crazy theories. Something that I was talking about earlier was I'm working on this big Ashara Dane piece, and a lot of theories about Ashara Dane hinge on things like Aegon. And like when you isolate plots in A Song of Ice and Fire to themselves, you can kind of realize like what their main motives are. And like Aegon's plots do not connect to Ashara. It just doesn't work. It's not right at all. Like it's not. And Aegon's plot is a whole nother book, man. Like that is just the Blackfires and the Illyrio and Varys connections. When you like isolate who's actually involved in that plot and what's important to that plot, you can kind of figure it out. Like that is complete. He's a Blackfire. Like there's no Blackfire, Bright Flame. And I love that from Jeff. But 100%, he is at least a Blackfire. We all know it. There's no reason otherwise for him. Like the Mummer's Dragon, like
the foreshadowing is just
sorry
too
to
heavy
rant.
for there to be. No, the foreshadowing is just way too heavy, way too prevalent for there to be any other possible.
And here's something else.
Conclusion.
On top of that, KRT, one of our new faves with the questions, she is coming in hot. She has like a list of 80 questions in the Facebook A Song of Ice and Fire official. Like that group has just like her just firing them off right now. And there are certain things in the text that, including like the Aegon stuff, that is so obvious to me once you read through a few times. It's literally between the lines, like that's what it is. And by the way, the line that ends it was with Illyrio's rings, jewels danced, a black diamond and a green pearl. Like, jewels danced. And then there's the line from the T-Wow sample chapters in Ariana. It's 2, I think, with Lady Tiona. Ariana 2? Am I making that up, or is it 1? It's one of them. Talks about her dream she had, and that everywhere the dragons danced, the people died. Like, this is a dance, and he has said we're going to see another Dance of Dragons. So this is literally, people that won't believe that, like, this is what's happening. Like, that's one of the things that's so obvious. And KRT just asked us about why do people still not believe RLJ?
Oh yeah,
it's canon. It's so canon. Like, why?
I've
confirmed it. I don't.
Well, I mean, people use. There's some fake quote from Martin's wife about it being too simple, or something like that along those lines. But it's apparently it's a misquote in the first place. But it's just bullshit. I'm sorry, but if you're a fan of this series, if you're a fan of the series and you've done rereads and you're in the fandom at all and you believe anything other than RLJ, like, I can't even fuck with you.
I don't take you seriously. Ever. Like, how can I take you seriously? You are reading another book series. Like, but it's not about who, it's about how. That's the important part.
What gets me is that no other theories, Ned and Ashara equals Jon, none of those make any narrative sense of the story whatsoever. Not even a little bit. None.
It literally infuriates me. Like, I get upset because, like, I'll read, like, theories that are just so, like, you're not looking in the text. And it is upsetting. It is, because it's like you can, like, read the first book, read only Ned's chapters. Just read all of Ned's chapters in a row. And if you read all of Ned's chapters, you will never have a question of what RLJ means and what it's to read. Like, it's really upsetting. It got, not to like go deep, but Game of Thrones really got me through some hard shit in life. So like when I read it for the second time through the series, like the second reread, I read it and I like understood everything that was RLJ. There were certain things like that I never realized that kicked out to me from Ned's plot, and I was just like floored. Like I knew it at the end of the first reread. Someone was like, "Didn't you realize it?" And I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." But then like the second reread, I read it and I like was floored, and that was like when I was going through some crap, so it tied me real hard to these books. So like when people are wrong, I'm just like, guys, come on. What books are you reading? That's what this is about. And it's not even about that. That was what happened. That was the premise. So now we're looking at what's becoming. And like, we're given all the hints in a linear manner. We're given promise is gonna end the long night. Well, all of a sudden, we're in a freaking book where the long night's coming again. We're gonna find a prince that was promised. And then you just get tons of imagery of flowers. She died after being kidnapped and raped by Rhaegar in a room of beautiful flowers. Like, okay, interesting.
That history is written by the victors.
Robert Baratheon won, which Kevin is going to have to get in on this for that.
Yeah.
He has Robert Baratheon thoughts to share.
I mean, like I said, victory is written by the victors. Bobby B was the winner. And, of course, his beloved Lyanna, who could do no wrong, would never have forsaken him for Rhaegar and run off. So, of course, she was kidnapped and raped. But go ahead, Kevin. What do you say?
Okay, well, this is about Robert Baratheon, but it's pretty unrelated. But mostly it has to do with Eddard saying he could barely lift up Robert Baratheon's Warhammer back in the day.
But ice?
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, ice is Valyrian steel. It's a little bit lighter, but to use that, I imagine he trained with, like, you know, smaller ones, which would have been considerably heavier. So I guess I'm positing that, like, Robert Baratheon's hammer is either, like, crazy heavy, or it's his, like, magic and only Robert can really hold it, like it's Mjolnir or something. This is probably just a hole, but, you know, we can fill it.
I guess I can see that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me at all, honestly. I don't know if maybe it's like a weird George inconsistency you didn't think of, but like if Ned's gonna wield ice, in my opinion, ice has been told to us like it's huge and heavy and that it's a ceremonial sword. Like during the rebellion, Ned didn't wield that. Ned had a different sword. We know that. So like he didn't just wield ice in battle, but to me it's like if he can wield ice at all, he probably should have been able to hold the hammer. Which that's what makes me feel weird when like we see the show's version or like the licensed Valyrian steel version of the Warhammer, and it looks real skinny to me. Does that mean?
I mean, it does, but like that's the size that actual Warhammer people would use in war would be. Like anything bigger than that's pretty ridiculous. Even for someone who's super strong, it'd just be like unnecessary.
So why is Ned such a bitch?
I gotta say, why does Robert? How did Donald Noy make a magic hammer? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean,
only Robert can win.
Badass.
It's Valyrian steel. Maybe Valyrian steel's heavier. I don't know. Is it?
No, it's lighter.
Wait. No, Valyrian steel is lighter.
That makes sense to me.
But then why can't Ned lift it?
Hold on.
Exactly. Why? What is wrong with Ned's upper body strength? Is Ned missing motor skills? What's going on with you, Ned? I barely know you anymore.
I think I think this ultimately means is.
Huge dude.
No, go ahead.
Bobby B was a huge dude. Ned was kind of scrawny. I mean, maybe not scrawny, but he wasn't Bobby B like size and strength. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, but well. In the rebellion, no, for sure, because he was just this little shy dude, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what he was size-wise. Furthermore, the only official art we have of Harrenhal was in World of Ice and Fire, and they all look old, and they're all supposed to be like 14 to 19. Like, so, fuck you.
Yeah.
I still love that art. I really do. It's beautiful. And I just want to put out here that in that art, in that piece of art, the picture, yeah, Elena knows. In the picture where Rhaegar is extending the laurel of blue winter roses to Lyanna in the world of Ice and Fire, Ashara Dane is in that photo, ladies and gentlemen. Ashara Dane is in that photo next to Elia of Dorne in the bottom row. If you go 1, 2, 3, it's like 1 in from the left. Elia's on the left and Ashara's on the right. And Ashara Dane is in some art in the world of Ice and Fire. And that is all I care about. Thank you.
Well, I mean, that's an important thing to care about because Ashara Dane is obviously life. Okay, so I have a question here from Laura Brandos.
Oh, what's Laura got?
Who is the hooded man in Winterfell? Her guess is Harwin, and what are you guys' thoughts on this? The hooded man in Winterfell.
Yeah,
the one
the
that's
other
going around
ghost.
killing people, killed the little Frey guy, the little Frey kid.
I thought that was the King Beyond the Wall.
You think?
Think it's
I think there's a possibility. Now there's
Abel,
different theories out there. Have you guys heard the Theon Durden theory? Where
I love that theory.
I do too.
That's my favorite.
I don't agree with it, but I love it because it's, it combines Fight Club and A Song of Ice and Fire, but I don't necessarily believe it. I do not believe that Theon is the hooded man in Winterfell. I believe that it is either a member of the Brotherhood, possibly Harwin, or could be one of the Manderley men, honestly.
He's someone completely meaningless. I would love it to be the Theon Durden theory. The Theon Durden theory, to me, like, I love that theory. So I just love that, like, but I don't think it's feasible. But Theon's crazy enough that, like, maybe it is at this point. But it's not going to have any payoff to me with where we are with the T-Wow sample chapter, like, where, like, Asha sees him and, like, is all like, please don't, if you're going to kill my brother, heart tree it, don't fucking burn him. Like, so I'm kind of at this point where it's like, I don't think if we even do find out, will it be worth it? It's not, it might just not be as big of a mystery. If it is, then I would see it as Harwin instead. I feel like.
Oh, wait. I have another one here. Let's see.
Oh, what you got?
Oh, man.
I might actually have one too soon. So.
This is a heavy one. Ryan Holmes. Hi, Ryan.
Okay.
Says, what's the connection between the Valyrian Empire and the Empire of the Dawn? Okay, so let me just start by saying that this could be a whole nother fucking episode on its own. I see you're just as excited about this question as I am. Because
I have a lot of feelings about this.
Yes! Me too!
The Great Empire of the Dawn came first.
Yes, of course. And obviously the Danes are descended from the Great Empire of the Dawn, right? I mean, nobody's even questioning that.
They were the end of the army. They were the Danes are descended from the end of the army that was left over from the first battle there for the Dawn. And that's where the Danes came from. The last people that left from the Empire of the Dawn from that battle and army, they made their way to Starfall, and that's where they landed. And that's who the Danes are. And the Danes are actually where it comes from. Like, the Danes are the magic. Because they're so important. Let me just explain. The Danes are the most important sub-house. You know what I mean? Like, they're like secondary houses. They're not. They're so important. They're being kept mysterious for a reason. The 5-year gap kind of fucked things up, but George has such big plans for House Dane, and Dawn is one of the big keys to the end of the Long Night. And it's really important. The Great Empire of the Dawn and their crazy-hued eyes, and I just...
Fucking right. Okay, so I mean, can we just? I know it's been said, but it needs to be said. Okay, the Long Night is followed by the fucking dawn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously a sword called Dawn, forged from a fallen meteor, is obviously going to end the Long Night. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Danes are descended from the Great Empire of the Dawn. They have the biggest role to play in the coming Long Night and the battle for the Dawn. Like, it does not get any more clear than that. I feel like we could do an entire episode just on this.
Yeah, no, we have to stop ourselves because we can. But I have one question, Elena. I don't want to see your face during this. Don't look at me. First off, you don't even know what I'm gonna say, but I know like you think. You're already thinking.
How hard
so
am I
Jackie,
Oh, sorry.
go back on mute, Elena. So Jackie, now that we have this idea of the Great Empire of the Dane, a very magical thing. So what do you think as far as sub-minor, like Game of Thrones, magical houses? Interesting that some members of House Dane disappeared. Just keep holding it. We're getting there. I'm about to unleash it on you. I just want the build up to be maximum. And it's interesting that there's a secondary Game of Thrones house that's also really magical. Their kings were known to have strange hued eyes. They live somewhere where their castle, fuck you, Elena. They live somewhere where their castle stays very hidden and moves so no enemy can find it, making a perfect hiding place. They have no maesters. You think you do, because you do. They have no maesters to report to the Citadel about any of the going-ons of their kingdom, their realm there. And they know magic. They can breathe mud and walk on water. So wouldn't it be interesting if some missing Danes turned up in Greywater Watch?
Like Ashara is Diana?
You mean John Leona Reed, Gianna Reed, John Leona Reed, Gianna Reed, George R. Martin, who loves pseudonyms? Yeah, that's an idea.
Chloe.
You just got Chloe, is what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness. You guys.
I knew we'd get there. Look at hold on. Everyone just appreciate Kevin and Elena's face. Oh.
You guys
That's where I was going.
Chloe and I kind of nerded out on this super hard one day, and I like drew up an entire fucking birth I think it's like right there somewhere. I drew up an entire family a family tree for Danny and John and all of their super crazy Danes. What is
you
that?
Can't really see it, but if you look close enough, it's reversed. My House Dane timeline is right there between Poison Ivy and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
Okay, so first off, you've convinced me. You convinced me a while back that is it Illyria?
Illyria could be Ashara's daughter.
Yes, I 100%. So, you've convinced me of that completely. You convinced me of that a while back. That was when we were doing our magic blood business.
I don't even know if I believe that 100%. I do want to be honest. This is transparency is important when it comes to Ashara Dane. Something I'm working on in this piece I'm writing too is like I don't believe like. The Howland Reed and Ashara Dane theory is my life. Like, that is my bread and butter. That is the love of my life. That is the only thing that nourishes me. It feeds my crops. My acne disappears when I think about it. Like, it's really good stuff. Like, it's the best thing in the world. It's so pure. Every night I think about how pure it is. Like, it's a very pure relationship. I hope it's real, especially because it all fits together. Now, the problem is, if it's not, and I've come to accept that it could not be real, my heart will go on. They're not real characters in real life.
What?
In real people life, they're real characters. It hurts so bad. Anyways, but like it hurts. My chest hurts right now just thinking about it not being real. But like if it's not real, in my opinion, Ashara's dead. If she's not with Howland, she's dead. That's 50-50. She's dead. Now, then I think that Illyria was her daughter. It's harder to push her being Illyria's mom and being married to Howland. It could be both. I'm not saying George wouldn't do it. But I feel like it's too complicated and there's no way we would hear about it. And the only way that Helen and Ashara will become canon will be really lightly in the subtext. And what will happen is someone will go to Greywater Watch in A Dream of Spring, and there will be a small comment about Howland's little wife with her purple laughing eyes. You know, like that's how it, if
I see what you're saying, but I gotta tell you that if only one of those theories is going to come to pass, I do believe that it will be Illyria being Ashara's daughter. I think that there's a higher probability of that being true than there is of Ashara being Diana.
Well, you're wrong, first off, but that's fine.
Okay, whatever.
I'm
okay with that.
No,
I don't mind being wrong.
I mean, when I release my Ashara stuff I'm putting out, I will hopefully convince you otherwise. Only because
I'm open to it.
It just like Ned's okay. So there's a lot of things thematically that like Ned Stark having a bastard is definitely interesting.
Yeah,
Doesn't fit the character that we're given. It doesn't 100% fit. There's just the problem with the Ashara Dane is just how, like, I would honestly argue Helen and Ashara will happen before Illyria does. The nature of Ashara and the nature that like she at the very end, like we aren't gonna get, he won't have time to give us this whole explanation about her. He never has, but he's always consistently left her through each book telling us she's gonna have a moment. She will. He's telling us. He's straight up saying, look, I will close this thread. I've put her in every book. There's 11 mentions of her by name. And the 12th mention is by Bran, with Mira revealing the story that Mira knows by heart for some reason who every single person that danced with the Ashara Dane was. That's weird. Anyways, that's fine. Also, really weird that Howland seems to recount Ashara's eyes as laughing when everyone else thinks they're sad and like haunting. Wonder why he would think they're laughing, because he loves her. But
or maybe
he loves her so
the
much.
Laughing tree. Okay. So we completely.
Anyways,
as soon as I mentioned the words "the Great Empire of the Dawn," we completely ignored the entire question that Ryan asked, which was, "What is the connection between the Valyrian Empire and the Empire of the Dawn?" And Ryan,
no, I gave my answer.
No, we just
No, the Valyrian Empire
just started geeking out over the Danes.
No, dude, but the Valyrian Empire, I'm saying they came from the Danes. Like, the Danes are actually the top tier. Valyrian Empire came from them.
Wait, you think okay, so you're saying that you believe the Valyrian Empire descended from the Danes?
Yeah, dude. I think they descended from the Danes, for sure.
I'm of the belief that the Valyrian Empire is the direct descendant of the Great Empire of the Dawn. I believe that, maybe not direct descendant. I definitely believe the Great Empire of the Dawn had dragons, you know, tamed them, rode them, all that fun stuff. And while the Valyrian Empire may not be the direct descendants, I do believe that they are the natural heirs to the Great Empire of the Dawn.
Yeah,
I believe that the Danes separately are kind of another offshoot of the Great Empire of the Dawn. Or something else.
For sure.
But yeah, no, go ahead. Let me think of something else while you go ahead and chat.
No, like, I mean, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, they are descendants. Like, I mean, even if it's like cousinly somehow, like that like some people fucked that were together, like with that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I'm saying they are definitely descended from Great Empire. Like, Danes are top, but I mean, Valyrians came from them. Yeah,
I do believe
which is such a huge
Empire is a secondary heir.
That's a game changer too. Like, people don't, and that's why, like, I really think the Danes are so important, and people are ignoring it. But
yeah, no.
They don't give a damn.
I don't think people are ignoring it. I just don't know that many people are as like insane
Woke.
about it as some people. Oh, also, while we're talking about the Danes, I have to give a shout out to Ariana. I love you, girl. Mwah.
Love
Love
Ariana.
you.
Yes, she's my Dane
Love you,
sister,
Ari.
man. She's
Yes,
great.
That's my girl. Yo, you don't even know.
Well, the one nice thing is once we get the Winds of Winter, you guys, Elio Garcia confirmed on a theory I posted to Reddit once, we are going to get brief Dane, like, and we'll find out who Edric Dane's mom is, and like we'll learn more about his dad. Winter,
Wait,
we just have to wait till that.
Never mind. I'm drunk. My mind is like completely scattered from like one topic
No, I
to
feel
another
that
right now.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, right. This is the first time I've done something like this.
You know, I've actually counted. What?
Sorry, go ahead.
This is let me just tell you a story that one time during Game of Thrones season 7, there was a girl who got really drunk during Song of Ice and Fire and didn't stay up to record the episode because she fell asleep because she was drunk. And so they had to do episode 1 of Game of Thrones season 7. Second episode of Game of Thrones season 7 as like a different podcast with a little 10-minute recap because someone got drunk.
Oh my goodness.
Wonder who that could have been.
Okay.
It was me, guys.
It was you. Okay. I wanted to. Jesse Carson wants to know: don't people ever smoke anything in Westeros? Tobacco or some weirweed kind of substance? I've never heard.
Well,
weirweed.
they do chew on sour leaf.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. We have our sour leaf, which I believe is sort of a tobacco equivalent. Yeah, I'm going to go the super nerdy anthropological route here and say that the new world beyond the Sunset Sea has not been discovered yet. And when European, I'm sorry to touch on like real history or whatever, but
no, it's fine.
In Europe, they didn't have tobacco until they discovered the New World and, you know, found those fun brown people over there smoking on the wacky tobacco. That's when it made its debut in European culture. And since we don't know anything beyond the Sunset Sea in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, you know, maybe that's where it could be. But we all know that the parallels are not completely consistent or straightforward or anything. So maybe Martin just doesn't give a shit about tobacco or smoking.
Wow, wait, the more meta thing is that like George R. R. Martin doesn't smoke pot is what I'm learning. Maybe he should.
I don't think we were talking about pot, but okay.
Oh, well, I think we were talking about pot. Let's get really real. I think we were all talking about weed. Who cares if they're smoking tobacco? We know what these characters in A Song of Ice and Fire are smoking.
He'll never finish.
Maybe if he smoked some pot, he would.
He would what?
Medical. Legal pot.
Yeah, okay.
Really legal pot.
Questions here. Legal pot?
Really, the legal stuff. Medical. Only for a medical condition would George ever do it, but he should.
Okay. Laura Brandos wants to know, Melisandre speaks of waking stone dragons. What the fuck is up with that? I think that Melisandre is completely freaking delusional.
I think it's a common thing if she just doesn't know how to interpret her visions, you know, properly.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
We've learned, Lore, especially Melisandre, has admitted, I am a vehicle. Nothing but like I am trying to interpret them. That she saw a dragon waking from the stone. I think that could be Jon Snow eventually, is what she's seeing, a dragon waking when she like brings him back, maybe. And she doesn't know. I mean, like think of the dying gray girl on a horse. I mean, that was Alice, not Arya.
Right.
I don't know, Kevin and Elena, correct me if but I think that's kind of Melisandre's vision's interpretation, you know?
Yeah. Well.
What do you get? What
Piece of waking stone dragons. I mean, we've seen stone dragons awoken. You know what I mean? We saw Danny wake dragons from stone. I don't think there's much more of a straightforward answer than that. You know what I mean? Like she's.
What do you think, Elena? Do you think
I mean, obviously she's getting some sort of visions that they are ending up being correct. They're never what she expects. I mean, especially like
misguided.
Especially with yeah, it's gonna be Arya. She'll be riding up to the castle. It'll be great, guys. No, never mind. It's a Karstjark.
I mean, I think we should realize I think we should realize the possibility that she is completely full of shit. No one sees anything in the fires.
That's true.
That's not true. No, it's not, because we've seen her POV.
I'm sorry, what's that again?
POV.
The point of view
of who?
That George gave us of Melisandre. The 5th book, he gives us a point of view of her, and we learn she's not exactly like an asshole like we've all thought this whole time. She thinks what she's doing is for the greater good. She's interpreting the visions that she gets them. So, like, I mean...
Okay, Grindelwald, calm down.
What I think is fair to say, though, is that she might literally just be crazy seeing this shit, not, you know, and just kind of being close to right, but close enough.
I argue with that while that's an idea, yes, she could be crazy, but no, because we're also slowly getting other red priests and priestesses. We're getting Mikoro, we're getting Bonero, we're getting all these people that read from the flames. We're getting told that R'hllor is kind of a legit thing. People are seeing some bullshit. People are like, hey, I had this vision. Hey, I had this vision. So, like, straight up says, like, I'm not always right. I just see stuff and I interpret it. So, like, I don't think, especially from her point of view, I wouldn't say she's kind of like just winging it and bullshitting, because like we see her do some shit.
Well, let me qualify again. I'm not necessarily she's just saying she's bullshitting, but like I think more to the point is I don't know if it really matters whether or not R'hllor is really an existing factor, whether or not the magic that is associated with R'hllor is. Like fire magic can just be its own school of magic that has no like deity overseeing it. And same thing when it comes to like the ice. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. You know, it's. I feel like
no. You're not wrong. I think that something that's interesting over R'hllor and over like fire, for example, like nature is taking its hold in a way. So I wonder if, I mean, especially with regards to George saying, you know, by the end we'll have normal seasons, we'll have normal this, things will be more normalized. You know, like if this is basically saying gods are bullshit, as some people that are woke enough may know, that like nature is what really rules the earth. You know, like that could be even a message. That's an interesting message, especially because the Song of Ice and Fire, and especially like that fire, like, I mean, like praying to R'hllor, it's not like praying to a god, it's praying to the element. And I wonder if, like, why don't we have ice mages, you know? Like, is Jon Snow going to be the first ice mage? Oh, God. I don't know.
I've got to say,
the White Walkers are basically...
I do not.
Wait a second.
I do not believe that gods exist in a Song
what
of
if?
Fire. I believe. Sorry, I believe there's
guys. We might have just
figured
it out.
What's going on?
We just figured it all out. Oh, I was really excited because we figured it all out.
Okay.
It's the White Walkers and R'hllor, and that's all that matters.
So
That's it. That's the books.
I am in the camp that believes that there are no actual gods in A Song of Ice and Fire. I believe there are elemental magics, basically. Magics based on certain things in the world. We've seen fire magic, we've seen ice magic, we've seen water magic. I believe there could be more. You know, we have this recent revelation from Martin about fire wights and ice wights, you know, basically confirming that you know, Melisandre is a fire wight, where we have our, you know, well-established ice wights. Now, I'd like to count my own.
Is Jon going to be fire or ice? What's he going to be when he comes back? Ice white. Jon Snow, fire white or ice white?
Well, if he is being resurrected by Melisandre, which I believe is the most likely scenario,
Fire.
I believe that he will be a fire white. But he also obviously just has this intrinsic ice magic in his constitution, in his being. You know what I mean? Like, he is connected to the old gods no matter what. No matter if it's fire magic that brings him back, he is connected to the old gods and the ice magic that there is, period. There's no question about that. Now, what we've seen with the prologue for Dance with Varamir Sixskins, what we've seen with the resurrection of Beric Dondarrion, what we've seen with the resurrection of Lady Stoneheart, we know that there are several different stages, for lack of a better word, that one can come back as. I don't know if that's the right word that I'm looking for. But
no, it's true. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways that people can come back and different ways that it can affect them. And I think that we have to wait and see how that goes for Jon. But regardless, he's going to be changed. I don't know how. I'm excited to find out. But there's definitely going to be a change. I'm
excited to see him come back tougher, like less emotional, like, I'm part zombie.
But I'm also interested to see, how his relationship with Ghost either evolves or doesn't, after his resurrection. If Mungo, this is a shout out to you, if he's not necessarily dead at all. You know what I mean? There are people who believe that he wasn't killed in his little Caesar moment. You know what I mean? That he's still alive and will just be healed. I don't buy that. I think that he could. I definitely believe that he could, warg into Ghost in the meantime while he's resurrected. But I do believe he's dead. I believe he'll be brought back with fire magic.
Oh yeah.
But I'm really interested to see how the fire magic that brings him back kind of complements or interacts or completely, contraindicates the ice magic that is so intrinsic in who he is as a person.
Firstman blood, I mean, and that's what's so interesting is he's the blood of old Valyria. He's the blood of old Valyria, and he's the blood of the First Men, and the First Men blood can do a lot of very important things. And we're gonna see. I want to not to be like that person, not to make it a blood thing, but we're gonna see First Men blood make a big comeback in the next book, in my opinion. In the Vale alone, the Vale right now has been overrun by Andal blood for the past handful of years, and but it's this big inversion of the Battle of the Seven Stars that we're going to see. Royce is going to take control of that, and there's going to be some First Men blood that gets back in the Vale, just like it should be. Not, back with Battle of the Seven Stars, you're looking at, the Mountain Clans are people that wouldn't bend the knee to the Andals, and now it's back. The First Men are making a comeback, baby, and Sansa is going to, take that and take her agency and take the Knights of the Vale home, so they're like, yeah, we're going to support Sansa Stark, the blood of the First Men, House Stark. We're going to take this girl home. We're going to get Winterfell back, for us. Woo!
Yeah.
First Men, yeah. The first time the Blood Wars have gone okay for white people is what I'm saying. I don't know. But murdery than expected for white people celebrating their heritage, I don't know, but, we're going to see, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to murder you, but here I am. It's my white person background.
It's resurrected me.
Would you say you're a fire white or an ice white?
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, my heart is obviously frozen solid and made of ice. But there there definitely is fire in my soul towards some things. But okay, so I want to say something to you guys real quick. Talking about fire whites and ice whites and blah blah blah, and Makoro and Resurrection. Do you remember? Of course you remember. Let me not even say that. Okay, so Victarion had quite the severe wound that he took battling the heir of the Lord of the Shield Islands. I forget which one. Sari. There's like this super awesome passage where he says the most badass lines that I'm not even going to try to remember right now. And he's like, oh, are you the Lord of Surrey? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, who are you? And he's like, you're death. And it's super badass, right? But he takes this sick wound in the hand, like grabbing the guy's blade. Seriously badass stuff, right? And then they end up picking up Makoro at some point, and he's like, well, you know, you're going to die and everything. But he takes him downstairs, and he does this crazy, you know, ritual with him that is very, very reminiscent of Miri Mazdur with, you know, supposedly trying to bring Khal Drogo back to life after his wounds and everything like that. I mean, you get what I'm talking about, right? The scenes are very reminiscent of one another. There's
I don't know if you see this, but I'm just like lighting my lighter. Like this is it. I'm Makoro.
Okay. Or use the dark flame. Okay, so yeah, there's this scene with Makoro and Victarion that's very reminiscent of the Miri Mazdur trying to bring Drogo back to life scene, where there's like shadows dancing and everything like that, crazy laughter, sick, weird shit going on. And Victarion emerges from the cabin of his ship, naked from the waist up, with his arm that was basically just about to kill him, but it's black and bloody and crackling and sizzling and smoking. And so he's basically got this like bionic R'hllor arm going on right now, right? And I don't know, there's just the parallels between that and the Khal Drogo thing, even though obviously the two situations turned out extremely differently, has me 100% convinced that Victarion has or is a fire white now. Like he's got some kind of R'hllor or, you know, fire elemental, because I believe that the magic in Song of Ice and Fire is elemental and not made by the gods.
Yeah.
Personally.
Right.
But yeah,
I could see that. I mean, the big thing is he's gonna die either way.
Victarion, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's dead.
Glorious,
like
his glorious
in like 4 chapters tops.
I mean, he's getting roasted, but
God,
he's gonna do a lot
in 4
of really
chapters
badass,
tops.
He's doing a lot of really badass stuff before that happens, though.
Maybe.
Okay, so while I just randomly brought up Victarion Greyjoy, and I'm going to segue into something here real quick. I hope you guys don't mind.
No, good. I know we're getting to the end, so we'll take a couple last questions and bullshit around for a minute and give our last thoughts and get off here in the next bit. So let's throw
Sounds
those
good.
up.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys see these beautiful maps behind me.
Wow, they look really nice. Wait, can you tell me, Jackie, who made these maps?
These maps are by an extremely talented artist and fan named Michael Klarfeld, who lives in Germany. He's become a really great friend of mine recently. I adore the guy. He's impressive and he's fun, and we've been, he enlisted my help on a little project. So okay. So right here we have a lovely map that Michael Klarfeld did of Essos, and if you can see the borders around, he has illustrated here basically the various gods of Essos. And then to my left, wait, let me move my swirly straw. We have his beautiful map of Westeros with an insane amount of detail, and I'm constantly referring to this anytime I'm trying to figure some shit out where stuff is going down. But I just wanted to ask you guys to look out for a project in the near future. He enlisted my help on a project for the Iron Islands. Chloe also had a role in that.
I was in there. I did a thing.
Wait, which was your character again, by the way?
I gave him my face for Alanis Harlaw.
That's
Greyjoy.
right. Yeah, it's right.
My queen, my Ironborn queen. She's wonderful. Yeah, and it turned out really cool. He's really talented. He's doing this huge family tree for the Greyjoys and huge map of the Iron Islands. So detailed. It's amazing. If you get time to throw your money at it, I highly recommend it.
Anyone who's been following me on Facebook has seen this project going on for months now. It's just something that he enlisted a little bit of help from me for. I can't take credit for any of this beautiful artwork. You know what I mean? This is all him. But we've, you know, he enlisted my help, and I've been working on a few things here and there. The upcoming map will be of the Iron Islands with a lot of fun legendary scenes, legendary heroes from Iron Islands lore. Chloe will be on the map. I'll be on the map myself. My husband, Jack, is actually the Grey King, which is like the first king of the Iron Islands, I believe. And I'm his mermaid queen. My son is also a character in the map, as well as a lot of really awesome friends of mine. A lot of great regulars from our group that we're in, you know, Chris Dalby, Ryan Holmes, who I think we answered one or two of his questions. We've got Chloe, of course, Ashaya as Lady Piper.
From History of Westeros.
Yeah, History of Westeros. We love you guys. You know that.
Also from History is on there. I mean, there's a lot of fandom people that joined in to make this happen. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So, yeah, Aziz and Ashaya and Sean from History of Westeros are all going to be on that one as well as myself, my husband, my son, and a bunch of my scary metalhead-looking friends. Because I did probably about 80% of the casting for the project. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it finished. Micah, you're a great artist. Love your work.
Yeah, the best.
Thank you for
Micah's
the
the
posters.
best.
Oh, but you know what? I don't know if you can see here, but I have this map here that he sent. Wait, let me move my drink. You probably can't see it, but there is a really fantastic autograph right there from Micah to me. Thank you, buddy. Love you.
That's great.
So,
someday we're going to be able to sell that autograph.
Islands map. What's that?
Well, we'll be able to sell that autograph someday, you know? Someday.
Yeah. Wait, what?
What?
Did they sell it?
Yeah, we're going to sell it for money.
Never.
I would. Love you, Micah, but I mean...
First off, it's like...
I'm a broke bitch. It's the like, next George R.R. Martin story, okay? God, bitches gotta eat.
But do you know many other girls named Jacqueline?
That's true.
Because it's addressed directly to me, autographed to me. Because... But yeah,
I mean, I'd
so
still
keep an eye out for that upcoming Iron Islands map because it's going to be fucking bad ass. And we're going to be on it. And we're pretty.
Okay. I know we had one question. Let's get I'm going to throw one question out here from Drunk ASOIAF. We've had a lot of activity tonight at our Twitter. Yes, Drunk ASOIAF. That's the best way to say it. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Just say it again, like one more time.
ASOIAF.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So weird.
We're getting a lot of questions today. Oh my god.
I've never heard it called like that.
Oh yeah, hear it all the time. So we have gotten a handful of questions. Hold on. Something really interesting. We've gotten also, because I mean, this was the big night of just like some thoughts.
Yeah.
You know? And this is one, oh man, I bet Elena will have some ideas on this. But when Ares began to grow paranoid, Varys was hired to spy on Rhaegar. That was his entire job. Okay? So he knew about Lyanna. This is from Jash 7.34 on Twitter. That's a big thought. That's a bit... That kind of changes some stuff like...
That Varys was hired to spy on Rhaegar?
What do you guys think?
Kevin, Elena, what do you guys say?
I mean, it's...
Are they still with us?
I mean...
Yeah, same.
I don't know. I don't got too much to add to that. It seems pretty complete.
It's definitely an interesting theory. I don't really know.
I think it would be interesting to further Varys's like game. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
think it would be a little much.
Like, will we ever know that he knew? No, probably not.
God, no.
I don't think it would add anything to the story. I don't think it would really take much away. Actually, I think it would kind of take away from Varys' character anyway. It would make
The
him
one
too
thing I
all-knowing.
like, yeah, I get that. The one thing I would like about it is that like it would add to him pursuing the Blackfire plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would kind of add that layer of like, yeah, I know that Jon's the rightful heir, but I'm still supporting this whole Blackfire Illyrio plot for Aegon.
On a side note, I saw the craziest fucking theory the other day that Varys is actually a woman and is Illyrio's wife. I can't remember where I read it. I can't remember where I saw it, but I remember just sitting there going, "What the fuck is this?"
No, sweetie, what is you doing? No, who wrote that? Someone come. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I just want to talk. Someone come forward. You know, like who wrote
Her
this?
idea.
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't buy that for a nickel. Okay, so as far as Varys is concerned, I believe that his ambitions coming to Westeros had absolutely nothing to do with Rhaegar or anything other than furthering his Blackfire plot. Period. I don't see there being any other two ways about it. I mean, he says he's for the realm. Anybody buy that? I don't.
No, he's for his realm.
He is for what he believes should or would benefit Westeros. What he believes would, I don't know. I think all his hopes and dreams rest on Aegon, who is obviously a Blackfire descendant. And yeah, I just don't see any way that that's not his end game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I do. It's when you isolate these plots, it's kind of easy to see the outline. Like that's the bold strokes, you know?
Absolutely. I firmly believe that if somebody comes at me with a theory, or if I come up with a theory on my own, the first thought that I have is, how does this service the plot? How does this service the end game? And if I can't find anything like that, I don't believe it. Period. I just don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't see any way that it benefits the overall story, there's no narrative purpose for it to me.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I hate to admit it, but I've blown off so many theories just on that principle alone.
That's where you can write off a lot of like PJ, like Preston Jacobs, Order of the Green Hand, Secrets of the Citadel. Like there's some stuff that's just not to name drop. Like I respect anyone that makes videos in this community and has theories and ideas, but those are some theories and ideas that are just like, yeah, you thought of them, but should you have?
Yeah. Actually, KRT had asked us earlier why so many people like buy into PJ's theories. And I would have to say
because they're bored.
Not that. I would just say that they have a fundamental lack of understanding of the entire story.
Like maybe they're just reading different books. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we're all reading different books. Here's a crazy tinfoil theory. Every single book that you buy of the A Song of Ice and Fire series is different from the rest.
No, because I have several copies.
Okay, well, that theory just got crushed.
Hold on a second. I'm going to show you something very serious here.
Very serious.
Very serious. This is my level of obsession. Okay, I have hard copies of all of the books, but
oh yeah,
I have these paper copies too, where I bookmark every single chapter by character and also important plot points and important quotes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can see how many bookmarks are in here, but they are color coded. They are very clearly labeled, and each one of these colors and everything means something to me. I use this for like seriously heavy research. Yeah, I mean, there's a level of obsession, and when I forgot where I was fucking going with that.
No, it's definitely a level of obsession. I read both my physical, my hard copies, and my e-reader copies. I am an e-reader though, just because I'm always on the run. I'm always on the go. If I can read a spiritual chapter or look at a quote, I mean, I like to have my books on my phone so I can pull up quotes whenever if I need to search for them.
Yeah.
But I actually highlight on my e-reader. I have pages upon pages of different color-coded highlights. So I do the same stuff. Just for me, it's easier on e-reader. And then like I've been loaning out my hard copies a lot lately because I'm working on, you know. But my e-reader copies are always just as lit. I get that. I have several. I'm generally on 3 different like rereads at once because I don't have focus. So right now I'm doing Arya read and I'm rereading Storm of Swords and Dunkin' Egg in general. So that's me right now.
This is so that I can go back and reference anything that I need to reference. Each color bookmark here is a different character, but there's also I forget which one right now because I'm fucking drunk. One of these is each color is a different character for chapters, and then there's one of these ones is for like important passages. So I'm constantly going back and rereading passages and trying to connect the dots, and that's the most fun thing about this series. And not to mention the fact that the lifelong friends and the companionship that I've made through this series. You know what I mean? Like, I obsess over the text. I obsess over every little detail, and it's weird. My family is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, these are books." I go to several conventions a year. I mean, I met you guys at a convention. I never knew you before that.
Yeah, Ice and Fire Con. Woo!
Yeah, hey. It's a complete obsession though, but not only that, but there's so much potential for intelligent discourse and research in these novels, and that's why I have all those weird bookmarks and shit in there, because I want to go back and reference each and every single thing and compare it to another and connect the dots and, you know, put things together and discuss it with friends such as you guys, you know what I mean? And it's fun and it's interesting and it's rewarding. It's just rewarding, you know what I mean? And I can't even begin to tell you how much this book series has changed my life. No.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think everybody has their own story, you know, like I think that's what's so big is A Song of Ice and Fire hits real deep every time. It just hits really deep, you know, every time. Every person has their own story. So
yeah, I mean, I've made lifelong friends because of the series. I'm doing this with you guys who I didn't know a year ago because of the series.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Not only has it provided me with new friends and life experiences, but also a different outlook on things and opportunities and all kinds of things like that. And I'll be forever grateful for George R. R. Martin for doing that for us. If you guys are up to it, I have one more question from, give me 1 second, let me pull it up. I have one more question. I think it's a good one to end this on if you guys are ready to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Where'd it go? All right. my girl Kim, hey Kim, says, what is your best case scenario ending, worst case scenario ending, and realistic scenario ending?
Oh, okay. Someone else go first. I don't got that.
Elena and Kevin, what do you guys say? What's your best case scenario ending?
Best case scenario is the complete toppling of the feudal overlords and the establishment of a communist society. But that's the best case scenario for anything, really.
Right?
Rock and roll.
Worst case scenario is, I mean, obviously it's the White Walkers killing. Actually, yeah, no, the White Walkers killing everybody would probably be pretty bad. And
would it though? Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
really
probably
that would be bad.
Or just Cersei or Robert Baratheon, but you know, it's neither here nor there. And most realistic scenario is probably going to be. Are we talking show or book?
Book.
All right. Well, in canon, in the show, it's going to be Dany and Jon sitting on the Iron Throne together, like they're going to share.
You did it! You killed Chloe!
I want death. I want to make fucking die. I don't know why we're friends. Why do you say these things? You do these things to hurt me, and it's not nice.
Basically.
It's not nice of you. I thought we were friends. Continue.
No, but in the book series, though, I think probably the most realistic end to it is still probably the collapse of the Seven Kingdoms as an entire political polity. I mean, it's only been around for 300 years of like 8,000 years of history.
That's your best case, right?
I think that's the most realistic. Best case was a communist utopia.
Realistic. Okay.
Realistic, yeah.
All right, Elena, what do you say? Best case scenario, worst case scenario, and realistic.
Worst case scenario, everyone dies. Every person dies, and the world of West, the world of Rose just fucking explodes. Just, I don't know how, I don't know why. Ice and fire go against each other badly, I guess, and then it just go. Best case scenario, the cats take over the Iron Throne.
I was gonna say that. That's not fair. That's my ending.
I looked over and saw Stuart. I got inspired.
Oh, Lord Tywin.
He is not Lord Tywin. I'm gonna murder you.
Tywin.
I'm gonna murder both you.
It's a running bit. Don't worry.
The cat at this house is called Lord Tywin Lannister. That's his
His name is Stuart.
And his name is Lord Tywin.
I'm gonna
Lord
murder you
Tywin.
both. Whatever. Yeah. Realistic scenario. Realistic. I'm going for the downfall of the Seven Kingdom as a whole. Give me my different
Oh, you're not getting
kingdoms
those. You're not getting those
entirely.
either.
You literally said that as your realistic.
Well, I said the Seven Kingdoms as a political polity would go, not that the Seven Kingdoms would be functional political entities afterwards.
I mean, I figure not all of the seven are going to be functional political entities. I'm just saying in general.
No, I didn't mean this. I just meant this.
Tired of the Seven Kingdoms as a whole.
It's your voice. That's what you sound like, Kevin.
Unity?
What? Comrade. Oh, I'm just making fun of Kevin.
I'm gonna not look at the camera.
Grumpy Kevin is grumpy.
I'm gonna say cats were the best option. Next best would be like Good Queen Sansa, and like Good Queen Alysanne. Like it's Good Queen Sansa instead. She's busy healing the realm for everyone. Sansa just has a lemon cake delivery service to everyone, and she's the queen of everything.
Aww.
And then I know, right? Like I really honestly just want Sansa to cakes and have enough that she can share with the whole realm, and everything's great.
Sorry, but who would be her Jaehaerys?
I guess Jon could be in the end, just because that's a realistic thing.
Get the fuck out of here. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
No,
Listen. You know what? There are so many parallels. I'm not a Janza shipper. I'm not. You have to understand. But it's like
I'm pretty sure you were after the end of
unprecedented.
last season. The 6th season, not
6. Season 6 was not fair. That was Janza baiting. That was fucked up. They like introduced all this chemistry and
You
then just like
so
pulled it out
fucking
from
hard.
under.
Like, oh my god, just
Not that I
You thought that was
shipped it.
chemistry?
They had chemistry
for
in
real?
season 6.
For real, you thought that was chemistry? Wait.
Okay, what would you like to compare to it? Amelia Clark and Kit Harington?
Oh God, no. But still.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry. They set that up in season 6 to have tension on purpose because it's literally precedent in the books. It's not going to be surprising if it happens. Sansa One Stark married John L. Stark, her uncle. Oh wait, let's just look at more parallels. That the Stark in Winterfell that was making pacts with a Targaryen queen decided to make the pact and was like, yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll make a pact.
Yeah, the Pact of Ice and Fire, right? That could have nothing to do with
Married
John
off
Daly.
his younger sibling to an Aaron via the queen's wishes, and then the Aaron died. Anyways, there are a lot of there's also the idea of like Eleanor of Quintain. I don't have time to get into this. What I'm saying is there is precedent for Sansa and Jon, and it wouldn't be surprising if it happened. Personally, I hope Sansa vibrator. I hope she fucking just figures out how to give herself the best orgasms ever, gets herself every lemon cake in the goddamn universe, gets a few really good blunts rolled up, gets Spotify Premium, and just sits there getting real high, getting fucking plowed by her dildo, and just having the time of her life while ruling the realm because she deserves it, damn it. But
Wait, a dildo or another woman?
no, leave her alone.
Sorry,
Don't.
maybe that's just my lesbo wishful thinking.
Who are you thinking about?
It doesn't matter. I just want some lesbian.
Who was
action.
it? Who was it? Who's the first chick that comes to mind you want to fuck Sansa?
I mean, naturally, I would say Jane Poole, but obviously she's been through way too much.
That's fine too. That's better than what I wanted you to say.
Wait,
like, I don't want it. I was expecting the typical plebeian answer of Marjorie Tyrell. And let me just tell you that the Tyrells are not nice. Fuck Marjorie Tyrell. That little fucking up-jumped little bitch from Highgarden needs to stay away from Sansa Stark because her and her family have done nothing but manipulate where they are, and you know it.
Okay. Maybe they were up-jumped 300 years ago when when Aegon the Dragon propped them up as the Lords of Highgarden after he put down the Gardeners. She's not up-jumped anymore. She is a full-blown, highborn, fucking great house lady.
Tramp.
No, I don't ship Marjorie and Sansa, but
good.
Yeah, I mean,
good because you would not be invited back, is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry that I just want some serious lesbian action in A Song of Ice and Fire, other than Eerie and Daenerys. Okay, but go on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there to touch on. I don't have time for that. So that's for a whole nother fucking episode and a whole nother night. But you guys, I'm good. I think we've covered a lot. Closing thoughts. This has been a real slice. I'd like to thank Jackie for coming on with us tonight. Jackie, please plug anything you have. Good. She's just blowing kisses, and I like that.
Skagos HQ on Facebook. My name is Tacky Jackie. Jackie, Jaqi. Yeah, look out for that project from Michael Klarfeld. You can check out more of his work on claradox.de. KLARDOX. No, ADOX. Sorry, drinking. .de.
Perfect.
Check out some of his work. Order some shit. These fucking badass maps. And the one that Chloe and I will be on in the near future. Yeah, Skagos HQ on Facebook. I also want to give a few shout outs to a couple of my friends, if you don't mind. Michael
for it.
Starfeld, of course. Brendan Beefish, y'all know him, of course. He's the worst. Ariana, I love you. Patrick, Bonnie, Ryan, Kyle, Mungu, KRT, Dino, Damon, Daryl, love you guys. Sorry if I forgot anybody, but I really love you all. I hope I answered a lot of questions that you guys asked. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, Chloe, for having me. And I hope to see you guys again.
Thank you, Jackie. Elena, Kevin, plug anything you have. Look alive.
All right, guys, it is the end of another amazing Drunk A Song of Ice and Fire. Hope y'all got drunk with us, because might have had a few beers myself. As I said before, I am the Bear Air on Twitter, the original Daisy Marmont Twitter account. Hit me up. I love having new followers. Love finding new random crap on my timeline.
Nice talk, y'all.
Kevin, you're just there. You're just doing great. You know that?
One more shout out. Okay. Allah, Halak. I love you. My long lost twin brother from Syria.
Yeah, if you guys aren't on any of the Facebook A Song of Ice and Fire groups, please check them out. Skagos HQ is great. The actual Song of Ice and Fire Facebook group is great. There are so many people, so many fans, thousands of fans from all over. This has been Drunk A Song of Ice and Fire. Please keep track this season. We're going to keep doing this over the next couple months. I love this. This is fun. I had a great time. We're also going to be doing Drunken Egg. Finally, I feel comfortable enough to announce that. We're going to start doing that. That'll start airing hopefully end of November, if not December. Tons of cool stuff on the horizon in this off season. I know we're all hungry for fanfic content from HBO. But until then, you guys, I'm Chloe. Please make sure you're following at Drunk ASOIAF. Hit the subscribe button below if you could. And let's get drunk again soon, you guys. I've been Chloe. Have a great night.